Good morning, students. I shall continue with the select statement, and the topic for discussion today is column aliases and ordering of data. So let's start with column aliases in tables. A column alias is nothing but another name given to a particular column in a table. Now if you consider the given table student, it has three columns: SID, SNAME and SCITY. But you can also give alias names for these columns. Now let's understand it with the help of this query. The question says you are asked to display all the records of students using column alias. That means we are going to write a query that will display all the records of students using alias names for the columns. Let's say if the alias name for the column SID is ID, for the column SNAME is name, and for the column SCITY is city of the table student, then we shall write the query as select SID as ID, where ID is the alias name for the column SID, comma SNAME as name, where name is the alias name for the column SNAME, comma SCITY as city, where city is the alias name for the column SCITY from the table student, followed by a semicolon. And on doing this, you will see the table and its content exactly as same as the original table, but the only difference will be that the column names SID, SNAME and SCITY has been replaced with their alias names ID, name and city. Now let's come to the next topic, which is sorting using the order by clause. Now sorting means ordering of data in ascending or descending order, and for that we have to use the order by clause. The order by clause in MySQL can be used to produce sorted output based on the columns we want. The order by clause can be used with one or more columns. The default sorting order of order by clause is ascending. Sorting order may be controlled by ASC or DESC keywords, where ASC stands for ascending and DESC stands for descending. We can sort in descending order using the DESC keyword with the order by clause. Now consider the table student as shown in this slide with the columns SID, SNAME and SCITY. Now you are asked to write a query to display the names of students in the ascending order of alphabetical series. So the query will be select SNAME from student, since you are asked to display the names of students from the student table, and then use the order by clause followed by the column called SNAME to sort it in ascending order. And upon executing this query, you can see the list of students getting displayed in the output table in ascending order, with the student name starting with the letter A appearing first, then with the letter H, and then with the letter T. Now out of all the students appearing with the letter A, Astik comes before Anumita and Anumita comes before Arpita. This is because even though the first letter is A for each of these names, Astik, Anumita and Arpita, the second letter for Astik is A and for Anumita is N. That's why Astik appears before Anumita. And again between Anumita and Arpita, the second letter for Anumita is N and for Arpita is R. That's why Anumita appears before Arpita in this list if these names have to be arranged in ascending alphabetical order. As a result, when these list of names are arranged in ascending alphabetical order, we can see that Astik appears before Anumita and Anumita appears before Arpita and Arpita appears before Hansika and Hansika appears before Tushar. Now look at this example. The same query can also be written as select sname from student, order by sname, and then the keyword ASC followed by a semicolon. Now note that this keyword ASC has been newly added to arrange the column sname in the ascending order. The column sname contains the list of names of students and they are arranged in ascending order of alphabetical series due to the inclusion of the ASC keyword. But one thing you note here is that the default sorting order of the order by clause is ascending. That means the use of the ASC keyword to arrange it in ascending order is optional. That's why in this example, when the keyword ASC has not been included in the query, the output shows the same list of students and they are arranged in ascending order of alphabetical series. And this shows that the use of ASC keyword does not make any sense, as by default without this keyword called ASC, the query was able to list the names of students in the ascending order of alphabetical series. So the output of this query without the ASC keyword is the same as this query with the keyword ASC having been included, and both the outputs shows the same list of names of students in ascending order of alphabetical series. Now consider the example shown in this slide. The question says you are asked to write a query to display the name and city of all the students in ascending order of name. That's why in the query along with name you are also specifying the city. So as sname represents the name and scity represents the city of all the students, we shall write the query as select sname, scity from the table student and then use the order by clause to arrange the list of students in the ascending order of name as asked for in the question. So we write it as order by sname, and the use of this keyword, that is ASC, is optional. If you want to skip writing this ASC keyword, you can skip it, because by default the sorting order is also ascending. And upon executing this query, you can see the list of names arranged in alphabetical order and in ascending series. In this ascending series, the student name Astik will come before Anumita, where Anumita comes before Arpita, Arpita comes before Hansika, and Hansika comes before Tushar. Now, along with the list of the names of students, the query also shows their city. So for the student name Astik, if you see here, the corresponding city is Durgapur. That's why Durgapur appears here. For the student name Anumita, the corresponding city is Bhopal. That's why Bhopal appears here. For the student name Arpita, if you look here, the corresponding city is Bangalore. That's why Bangalore appears here. Again, for the student name Hansika, if you see here, the corresponding city is Cochin. That's why Cochin appears here. And lastly, for the student name Tushar, if we look at the original table, the corresponding city is Aurangabad. That's why Aurangabad appears here. So this is what is shown in this output table upon executing this query. Now consider this example. In this example, the question is saying you are asked to write a query to display the names and city of all the students in descending order of name. Now look at this point. You are asked to display the names and city of all the students, but not in ascending order. You are asked to display it in descending order of name. And when you list the name and city of all the students in descending order of name, you have to use the DESC keyword. Now one thing you have to make it clear that the use of this keyword DESC is compulsory if you are to display the names and city of the students in descending order. And the query to be written is like this: select SNAME, SCITY from student, then use the order by clause, and as you are going to display the list of students in descending order of their name, that's why include the column called SNAME for arranging it in descending order of name, and then use the DESC keyword for arranging it in descending order. And once you execute this query, you can see that the list of names getting arranged in descending order and not in ascending order. Now see, in descending order, instead of the student names starting with the letter A appearing first, here the student name starting with the letter T will appear first. Okay, so the name Tushar will be appearing first, followed by the name Hansika. Okay, because if you see in the alphabetical series, the letter T comes after letter H. So in descending order of representation, the name with the letter T will appear first before the name with the letter H. So Tushar appears before Hansika. And after Hansika, all the names starting with the letter A appears. And out of that, Arpita appears before Anumita, because R comes after N in the alphabetical series. And again, in between Anumita and Astik, Anumita appears before Astik. This is because the letter N comes after the letter A in the alphabetical series. That's why you can see that in descending order of representation, Tushar comes first, followed by Hansika, then Arpita, Anumita, and Astik. Now, other than that, along with the column called SNAME, as I have also included the city to be displayed. So for the student name Tushar, if you see the original table, the city which he belongs to is Aurangabad. That's why Aurangabad appears here in the output table. Again, for the student called Hansika, the corresponding city is Cochin. So Cochin appears here. Similarly, for the rest of the students, Arpita, Anumita, and Astik, their corresponding cities are also being displayed. Now note one thing, that in this query, when you are asked to display the name and city of all the students in ascending order, you have used the ASC keyword. But note one thing, that the use of ASC keyword is optional, because even by default the sorting order is optional. So the use of this ASC keyword does not make any sense when you are asked to display the names and city of all the students in ascending order of name. But look at this example here. Instead of arranging it in ascending order, they're asking you to arrange it in descending order. But for descending order, the use of the DESC keyword is a must. This is compulsory. And with this, I end my presentation here. And that's all for today.